You won't know this, but I've just walked all the way around the outside of the ship on deck 8 just to show people the balconies and the restricted views and the issues around the walkway. I realised I wasn't recording, so I'm going to have to do it all again now. Anyway, you won't realise that, but it's Wednesday morning, just after 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. We're out in the Bay of Biscay in September. And it's nice, sun's out, a little bit hazy, but it's quite warm. The outside decks are getting busy on P&O's brand new ship Iona. That's a view aft, probably just forward at the moment of the midships, and the little hump bit of Iona that pokes out. And I'll just show you, you can look up. So there's the hump. This is probably the best location if you want a balcony cabin to get on Iona, on the hump or just either side of that hump, and it's repeated on the other side. You'll see what I mean as we go round, but the other cabins, certainly towards the back of the ship, are set back. You not get quite a good view with that. Right at the end they're forward again, which is nicer. But you'll see the problem with Iona in a moment as we walk round, particularly the problem with deck 8. It's a deck that a lot of people have been talking about, and we're on deck 8. Our cabin is ours. It's a conservatory cabin or a mini suite, and you'll see that on other videos that we've made, but you probably want to avoid it, and as we go around I'll show you why. Should we go forward? Yeah, we'll walk forward. So the sun's shining on this side of the ship at the moment, so it's the busier side. You can see these cabins jut out a bit more from the rest, or something. They're not set back. They're the ones you want to go for. You've got 6 jacuzzis, 3 down each side on deck 8 and 2 at the back at the sunset bar. You might be able to hear me now. I'm in that hot tub on the side of the ship. There's 3 of them on each side. These jacuzzis are automatics. There's no button to press. They just come on for a while, then go off for a while. It's a bit annoying because you can't just sit in the bubbles, or you can't just sit in a quiet pool. You have to let them go on and off on their own. So these are the conservatory suites. We've got one that's on the other side, and as you can see, people sit just outside your cabin. One's on the corners, got slightly bigger balconies. The glass at the bottom is privacy glass, but the glasses on the windows isn't, so you can see straight in. If you're sat in there in the evening with your light on, make sure you've got your pants on. You can see that everyone likes to look in the cabins as they walk past. A bit like when you walk down a corridor on a cruise ship, you're always peeking in the doors. Ours is on deck 8. I think probably you wouldn't want a cabin on deck 8. Even deck 9 as well, it's just one above us. You can hear a lot of noise from the walkway. So you can see that's 8. That's deck 9, so I'd recommend you go 10 and above if you want a balcony cabin. And probably they're not so good, these ones that sit in a bit. You know, they're okay, but slightly more of a restricted view. You want the ones on that hump there, just either side of the hump. They'd be the very best prime location for the cabins. Avoid 8, 9's okay. Go for 10 and above, I'd recommend that. We had a couple of people either side of us that have moved. We saw the suitcases out just after a couple of days. Either that or I've got coronavirus. I think more likely they've not been happy with where their cabins are. Now these are really weird. This is towards the front of the ship now. I don't know if you can see, but the walkway rises as you get to the front of the ship. So you get even more of a privacy issue when you're sat in your balcony. At the moment the camera's about head height, as we walk along, you'll see the walkway go up, and you'll see these cabins. These are your balconies on the right of me. And you can see people can just look straight in. It's just a bit of an odd design. The new cruise ship Aviva as well, that's going to be the same design. There are some other ships of the same design as well, aren't they? I think AIDA has got the same design. So this cabin right at front on the corner, so we're head height now, and you can look straight into their balcony because the walkway's a bit raised. And then we'll look back towards the back of the ship and get a view of the balcony. So this is deck 8, avoid those. Deck 9 above it, yeah, it's okay, but still a bit noisy. And then I'd go probably 10 and higher. And if you look at the very front of the ship, hope you can still hear me, it gets a bit windy. I'm going past the air conditioning units. The very front of the ship on deck 8, they're even more of an issue. I don't know if they are single cabins at the front. I'd have to have a look on the deck plans. So this bit here at the pointy end is crew only. They've got their own little swimming pool and jacuzzi in there. So these are the cabins at the front of the ship on deck 8. You can see they're just above waist height, really. Certainly an obstructive view. Got a glass panel that covers the front of the door. That's because of the wind on the front of the ship. And then you go up deck 9 just above, and 10, 11, 12. I guess once you get to deck 10, you're okay. You've got a better view over the front of the ship. Yeah, but there's certainly no privacy here. People are walking past you all the time. You can hear a lot of noise. You won't want to be sat out there in your pants. You'd have to be careful wandering around in your underwear, or even less, really, like some of us like to do. Wifey's always walking around in her underwear. It's just a bit off-putting. If she don't want this, I'll be in trouble. Okay, so going around to the other side of the ship now. This is in the shade, so it's probably not going to be quite so busy. Our cabin's on this side. And it's just a mirror image of the other side, and you can see this is the raised walkway at the front of the ship. Deck 8 still looks straight into their cabins. Yeah, the balconies are deeper. You've got more space. You can see they're deeper than above. But I don't think it's worth having a bigger balcony for the loss of privacy. We're okay with ours. I'm not totally disappointed with it. I'm glad I've experienced it. Ours is, I'll show you when we get down there. I wouldn't choose it again, but it's been an experience. So you can see there's rows and rows of seats that are literally just outside people's cabins. So this is still towards the front of the ship. So these balconies higher up, sort of 9, probably 10 and above, are better. They're slightly farther out than the ship. You'll see in a minute the ones that are set back, just like on the other side. So on the corners of the cabins that are set back, you get bigger balconies again. Yeah, they're okay, but you just end up, as you'll see, looking directly into other people's cabins, and they can look directly into you. So you can see there on the edge of the corners, there's one there, and same on this side. So you haven't got really great view, you just sort of look into other people's cabins and they can look directly at you. This is our cabin here, so this is deck 8. This is a mini suite or conservatory suite. 8237 is the number. Now, people were sat outside here yesterday, which is fine. I didn't mind, but I don't think I'd book it again. Hiya, all right. Have you moved from another cabin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because we had different neighbours before, and I'm sure they were different. What were you in before then?
One of these before, but it was all with bar. I'm sure that.
Oh, is it too noisy? Okay. So we can like hear. Can you hear the theatre from here? We can hear a bit of noise, but.
That's nothing like that before.
So was it really noisy? Oh, okay. What do you remember? What number it was, or was it deck 8? Was it? Or? Oh, deck 9. Okay. This is 8. So you're one above. But it was a conservatory one. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah,
So we're
because
doing a blog or something, or
yeah, we put our YouTube channel, Cruise with Kaz and Nige, so we put some videos on there.
what was it, 97? What was our number there? It was on the,
Yeah.
on the port side.
Was it a standard balcony, or did you have like these doors like a conservatory? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
these. We haven't been upgraded, no.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's the downgrade for us because we were actually went up, weren't we?
yeah,
So
okay.
we
I can't remember where I got to. Anyway, I got distracted talking to our new neighbours who it was too noisy, their cabin, so they got moved. But P&O, you know, if you don't like something, ask them, and I'm sure they will, if they can, accommodate you. So we'll carry on. We'll go back to the back of the ship, have a look at the sunset bar. It's quite a popular location, sunset bar. It's a bit shaded, a bit sheltered from the wind. So again, this side, it's a mirror image of the other side of the ship on deck 8. A lot quieter at the moment because the sun's on the other side. So here's the hump bit again. See that on the deck plans. I'd try and choose the balcony on this bit probably. It's about your best location. Aren't any on deck 8. That goes into the atrium. So deck 9 and above on the hump if you can, or just either side of it. As you can see, the balconies jut out a little bit more. Certainly a lot more private and a lot quieter. We haven't got the jacuzzis on this part of the ship, so it definitely is quieter. It's a nice touch, little outside seating area. And a little jutty out bit there is the Olive Tree, which is a speciality restaurant. A lot of the food in there is complimentary. And if you do have to pay for anything, it's only a small cover charge. And there's nice food in there. It's a bit more intimate than the main restaurant. I have to say the restaurants on board are really nice. The food is excellent. It is the same sort of menus that you get on all the other P&O ships. And it seems to be, certainly for the whole 7-day cruise, the menu's the same. Maybe on a 2-week one they change the menu halfway through so you can get another choice. This is that's the Olive Tree. So I don't know what the other one was. Perhaps that's another restaurant, but this is the Olive Tree.
What is that in miles?
400 metres in miles, probably about a quarter, isn't it? There's much quieter here, not in the sunshine. Go in the back of the ship and have a look at the sunset bar. It's nice. A couple of big jacuzzis either side on the sunset bar. And above you at the top deck is the infinity pool and the panorama bar. They're quite popular, but it's generally a bit more windy because they're much higher up on the top decks. Might speed this bit up, this little bit, just walk back and do it faster. Thank you. There we go, the sunset bar, that's nice, isn't it? A bit of sunshine here, you can see it's popular. Nice couple of jacuzzis. Big jacuzzis, but at the moment they're limited to 2 people or 6 from the same group. Whether that's going to change or not in the future, I don't know. And I asked you to spend 15 minutes in there, but you know, you can decide. You've got towels by all the jacuzzis. You don't need to bring a towel out. Bundle used ones in there. There's no seating at the bar. People normally like to sit behind the bar, don't they, have a chat and a natter, but you can't do that now. You have to sit at the tables and the waiters will come and serve you. Yeah, it's busy, isn't it? Lots of people here, lots of chairs are taken. Have a look over the back of the ship. I'll just sneak through here. Nice view over the wake. That's sort of chugging us along. Doing about 10 knots, I think, at the moment. I think the maximum's about 20 knots. It's lovely, isn't it? So as you look up, you can see a little blue bit of the infinity pool. There's another bar up there. It's a nice location again, but it does get a bit windy. Certainly much more sheltered down here. And you've got corner suites with the wraparound balconies. And then the balconies on the back of the ship, they're going to be a premium. You'd have to pay more for those. There's the second jacuzzi. See, there's no one in there who can dive in like, straight away. Okay, so that on the corner there is one of the suites. And they go up to the top. So that would be deck 9. We're on deck 8, so that first suite on the bottom is deck 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they wrap around the side of the ship, similar to Britannia. We've had one of those on Britannia. You'll see one of the videos we've done before. Really nice. Nice location back here, actually. Nice and peaceful. We've got the noise from the wake, which a lot of people like. Great view over the back of the ship. But the suites aren't right on the end, so you've got a bit of space to look over. And again, you're going to get noise in these balconies and those suites. You're going to get noise from the bar. Some people might not like that. On Britannia, you just look straight out into the sea. Noise from the bubbly pool as well. I don't know what time it is. It must be beer o'clock. Having a beer already. There you go, back round to the other side, the sunny side of the ship where everyone's waiting. Enjoying the sunshine, catching flies. I think Kaz has gone up to the retreat, read a book, or lie down in the sunshine. So I'm going to head back to the cabin, just change my battery, and then pop up to the retreat. Make sure she's not run off with the captain. They calm out. Hiya. Gonna go for an overtake. Oh, can't. Got blocked.